Morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning into my channel called Take Heed to the Message with Abang Anwa. It just means queen. So I'm not gonna show my face today. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. I'm already late and I have to make sure that food is ready before my husband get home. So I gotta cook, y'all. So this is why I'm not showing my face, okay? I'm not dressed up, okay? I'm not dressed up, okay? So I gotta cook and do this show at the same time, okay? Don't be mad with me. Tomorrow, y'all gonna see me in here doing nonsense tomorrow, okay? But I wanted us to address something. Good morning, Eric. How are you? Ricky, how you doing? Guys, please make sure you tune into Ricky Williams on YouTube. Brother, content is always fire, okay? And give you that education. Ricky, what's going on, sir? Steven, how are you? Green beans, okay? Green beans. He gonna say show off. Listen, green beans, listen. Now I done told you to stop following me. I don't, I'm confused, okay? I done told you to stop following me, player. You ain't got to watch me. You ain't got to watch me, player. You can always scroll up, okay? The title of this foolery today is Modern Women. Okay. That's right, Stephen. D-wrench that ass. That's right. Okay. Modern women, please be advised your work husband is your king's enemy. Okay? Okay? Oh my goodness. Okay? Now Ricky in here talking about cooking with take heed, cooking with take heed. Now, my husband, do y'all know this woman on social media? Cooking with Miss Bump Biz. Did y'all see that girl? She got that big badunkadunk. My king said, "This is you." I started laughing. I was like, "You best stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Okay, stop playing with me." Okay. Now the sister can thump though. She could cook. He talking about her backside and talking about you. That's you right there. I said, "Oh, you want me to go on social media and do it?" He's like, "Hell no, I ain't. I'm just talking to you in private." All right, so let's get into the nonsense. Now, a lot of people are already featuring, okay, this Caucasian woman on social media, but I also got a sister from England. We're gonna talk about her as well. Modern women, please be advised your work husband is your king's enemy. Why do I say that? Why do I say your work husband is your king's enemy? Check this out while I tell y'all this. Okay. Now, Eric, I see you in the chat. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Donation, 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 donation. Gives. Okay. Yes, honey. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you for the $5 super chat. Okay. And before we get into our foolery, okay, before we get into our foolery, I want to hit Eric with this real quick. Now, Eric, I just found this player. I just found this on YouTube. Okay. And this is for today, the conversation for today. And I thought that this would be good because I kept saying to myself, this woman is foolish. Sometimes you have to get out here and tell the truth. And so I said, I like what this brother said. Now, this is the song right here, Eric. I appreciate you for the $5 super chat, player. Here we go.
Here's what you ought to do. Walk the fuck away. Don't play their games and don't let them use you. It's not your fault that they got caught with a fucking ugly troll. It was their decision to betray you. They are the asshole. So pull yourself together. There are better people for you. Like literally anybody else that'll be motherfucking loyal. If you've ever been cheated.
Ain't that nasty? That's nasty, right? That's the cheating song, they call it. That's the cheating song. Okay? So now I'm going to share something with you. Now, Steven said, but he's just a friend. Yeah, that's the trick. That's the trick. Because I'm going to share something with y'all. Your work wife and work husband, but we talking about the work husband. We talking to my sisters, I'm talking to you. Okay? We're talking about the work husband. See, the work husband, you tell intimate details of your life to the work husband. When you have an argument with your husband, you go tell the work husband. If you haven't been screwing your husband on a regular basis, you go tell the work husband. Because the work husband is nice to you. See, he don't have no responsibilities. He don't see your flaws. He think everything you do is perfect by him. Do you hear me? Everything you do is perfect. Okay? Everything you do is perfect. So he's not there to correct you because why? He don't own you. That's nasty, ain't it? I was like, bitch, what happened? He don't own you. He didn't give you no wedding ring. You don't have his last name. He don't have to correct you, sis. He ain't gotta correct you. You hear me? You hear me, baby? He ain't gotta correct you. He just lets you do whatever you want to do because you know you don't belong to him. Okay? He just want to swing you from a chandelier. So of course he's not invested into you. So he just listening because he's ready for the chance to slide up in here. Okay? So now you tell all your deepest secrets to, the work husband. Okay? But the work husband is your husband's enemy. He is your husband's enemy because he's waiting for the chance where you open that door. How do you open that door? My sisters, how do you open up that door? Okay? How do you open up that door, baby, when you start talking to him? You start getting these calls on the phone late at night. You sitting up. Oh, that's just my coworker, telling your husband. It's just my coworker. Y'all laughing and everything. Hey, Wallace, how are you, baby? Y'all laughing, everything funny. You know what I'm saying? You going out to lunch together. Y'all hugging up and everything like that. And you know how it always go left. You know how it always go left. Cause he dropped one thing in here. He dropped one thing in there, and he's waiting to see if you catch it. And this is the one thing that he drops. He says, I wish I could go back in time. You hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying, my sisters? He says, I wish I could go back in time. Now he's waiting for you. He's waiting for you to make the next step. But he says he just dropped this on a lunch break. Y'all at lunch together. He dropped this. He says, I wish I can go back in time. And then you get in there because you foolish. You don't know. You get in there and say, what you mean go back in time? Okay? He says, because I would have made you my wife. I would have made you my wife. Now, he don't know nothing about you. Okay? He don't know any flaws. He don't know the shit that you have been taking your husband through. He don't know how you closed up that BJJ for like 6 months. He don't know none of that. Okay? He don't know how you did your husband. But he's sitting up there talking about, I wish I can go back in time. So now you respond and you say, well, what do you mean you could go back in time? Oh, I would do this. I would take you places. I would, especially now I'm going to share something with you, especially if your husband falls on hard times. Do you hear me? Especially if your husband fall on hard times, okay? The work husband look more good to you. Because your husband has fell on hard times. It's easier to cheat when your husband ain't got no money. Is that nasty? I know y'all said, bitch, what? 18, what's up, baby? Listen, it's easier to cheat when your husband ain't got no money. When he broke, he ain't got no money. He done lost his job. Mind you, he been taking care of the family. He always took care of the family, but all of a sudden he done went on hard times. Money make a woman, but JJ open. You hear me? Okay? Money will make a woman, but JJ open. Y'all say it all the time on these YouTube streets, these YouTubian streets. Okay? Yes, honey. Make a woman lose her mind when it comes to money. Okay? Yes, and Steven said make it moist. Yes, honey, make it moist. And so you get out here and you're telling this work husband all your business, and he's waiting for the time to get in there and tear it up. Okay, tear up everything. More than likely, should check this out. Work husbands are usually sometimes they already married. They don't have a king mindset, because a man with a king mindset, he's not looking to destroy another man's marriage. Do you hear me? He's not looking for that. A woman with a queen mindset, she's not looking to destroy, okay? She's not looking to destroy another sister's marriage. Do you hear me? I'm just letting you know. And so when you hear this, okay, when you get in here and you hear women say they have a work husband, my sisters, y'all got to start telling them the truth. Baby, that's your husband's enemy. Do you hear me? That's your husband's enemy. You understand? That's your husband's enemy, baby. You ain't supposed to have no work husband. Because what usually happens is, because what usually happens is you get infatuated with that work husband. You get infatuated with that work husband. Baby, you will destroy the kingdom. Do you hear what I'm saying? Because you're infatuated, you will destroy the kingdom. I want y'all to hear this video. This is an elder. You know, y'all don't like to listen to the elders. Y'all don't like to listen to us. But I want y'all to hear what he says. He says, affairs cheat you and your partner. Okay? I cheated on my husband who cheated on me, and now what? Affairs cheat both partners. Affair cheats both partners. Oh my God. You cheated on your husband, he cheated on you, and so now we have both cheated on each other. And now where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? They're both cheating. Where do we go from here? I want to share something with y'all, and I know that this is nasty, and a lot of y'all women do not agree with what I'm about to say. When a woman decides to cheat on her husband, and I have said this many times, it plays in her mind before she does it. Baby, that thing will play in her mind, honey, before she do it. It will play in her mind, honey, like tic-tac-toe. She already got how she gonna break it down, what's gonna happen, how she gonna do it, how she gonna execute it. You hear me? She already know the excuse she gonna use if anything happen. Okay? She already got a whole plan, okay, of how this gonna happen in her mind. And if she gets caught, she already know what she gonna do if she gets caught. And most of the time, you know what it is? When she gets caught, she immediately cries. Why do she cry in front of the husband if she gets caught? Why does she cry in front of the husband? Why? Why does she cry in front of the husband? Because she's pulling on his heartstrings. She knows that the husband does not like to see her cry, even when she's doing him wrong. Even when she's doing him wrong. This is why a lot of women go straight to crying. Boom. Once they get caught, they go straight to crying. Straight to crying, my brothers. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Okay? But you got to start telling these women, listen, go in the bathroom, clean your face, come back. Got to go in the bathroom, clean your face, and come back. Because this correction is here for you, baby. Go to the bathroom, clean your face, come back. This correction for you, honey. Okay? So now, I want y'all to hear what this man have to say. Let's get into it. Here we go.
Cheating, not just your partner, but it's also cheating yourself. It robs the individuals, whether one or the other or both, it robs you of what you're saying you actually want. It robs you of the relationship that you're currently in, the investments that you make, and it creates emotional unrest. Trying to maneuver two households, multiple households, is not as simple as one would think. In the specific case of your husband, him asking forgiveness of a girlfriend that he's never asked for of you, basically really gives you a clear message that he values that relationship more than the marital relationship. Having affairs is also.
If you've ever been cheated on, then here's.
Gotta get that out of there. Let me stop that real quick. But I like what he said, even though it was a snippet of it. But I like what he said. But there's a lot of situations where, and I want to say, because I'm looking at you, my sisters. Cheating plays in our mind first. Long as a man can capture the mind, the body follows. How many times have I said that? Long as the man can capture the mind, the body follows. And this is why I tell y'all, be mindful of who you talk to on the phone. Be mindful of who you be around. Be mindful of that work husband. Because that work husband is your husband's enemy. He's your enemy. Which you and your husband are one. This man is your enemy as well, but you don't see it. Because sometimes when you get in here and you separate yourself from your husband, a lot of y'all do that. You don't understand that you and your husband is one. When one person comes against your husband, they're coming against you. That's just as if your parents come against your husband. They're coming against you. You and him are one. Anybody that get out here and come against your husband, they come against you. You and him are one. I'm talking about a man with a king mindset. We are not talking about Pookie and Rere. When you hear horror stories like this, and then the woman comes out with all this regret, all you can do is shake your head. All you can do is shake your head. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. All you can do is shake your head because you rose to this occasion. You understand? You rose to this occasion. You said, let me just continue to do what I'm doing. You hear me? Let me continue to do what I'm doing. Let me get in here and do what I'm doing. Ain't nobody, I ain't gonna get caught. This is what you believe. Then you'll go and hurt a man that loves you with his heart and soul. A man that can get in here and take out half of the world just because the love he has for you. And you go and give his sweet thing. We gonna say sweet thing. You go and give his sweet thing to the work husband because the work husband is in your mind. This is why I say there's a difference between, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 2 in the chat if you can't. Well, how can you hear me if you can? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. This is the whole problem right here. You hear me? This is the whole problem right here. When nonsense like this happens. Let's get straight to the video. I want y'all to hear something. Let's get straight to the video. Shout out to River, okay? Shout out to River. Renee, thank you, baby. Shout out to River, okay? We're going into the first video. I want y'all to hear. Now, this woman we're listening to, this is a Caucasian woman. And River broke this down. Also, Crimson Cure broke it down as well. Shout out to Crimson Cure. She broke it down too. But River broke it down 22 hours before. We gonna listen to River break it down. Caucasian woman says she regrets cheating on her husband. She was lured into cheating on her husband. I love when y'all use words like that. I was lured into cheating on my husband. By the work husband. By the work husband. Hey, King Ball, how are you? Let's get into it. You know, River gonna have a commercial first. She gonna have a commercial first. But this is the foolery that we think it makes sense because I'm unhappy. Oh, financially, he ain't got enough money to take care of me. We going through a hard time. So you're telling the work husband, and the work husband is eating it all up. And anything that you get in here, you had an argument with your husband, you go tell the work husband. The work husband is agreeing with you. So he's agreeing with everything that you do. Good morning, Mr. He Said. Shout out to Mr. He Said. Always have amazing content and educational. Shout out to that brother. Y'all hit the like and subscribe button on his channel, please. Okay? Hey, Shay, what's up, baby? This is the uncomfortable truth. Y'all will get in here and everything that the work husband says to you, okay? Everything the work husband says to you, you take it like it's the word of God because you're so happy that somebody in here agreeing with you. But only why he's agreeing with you, baby, he want to tap them draws. He want to tap those draws. And once he get to tapping those draws, okay? Once he get to tapping those draws, the marriage is done. But you believe in your heart that, you know, oh no, this man, he loves me. You go and destroy your whole kingdom because, you know, you believe this man loves you. Because he said one word to you and he said, I wish I can go back in time. Be leery of men that get up here and tell you, oh, I wish I can go back in time. What do you mean you wish you could go back in time? And that, don't even answer that question. Don't even entertain it. When they say to you, I wish I could go back in time, that's when you need to get away from that man. Get away from that man. You hear me? The work husband is the enemy to the king. Let's get in here. Shout out to River. We about to drop this real quick. Here we go.
I was completely delusional. What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I'm back again with another video. So I, of course, was scrolling through the wonderful world of TikTok per usual, and I saw this video that made me like kind of confused. Okay, so it was this video in which the woman said, to my ex who lured me out of a great marriage and then got me and then cheated on me. So I, of course, was like, I need.
So you heard that, right? Let's continue.
All the details to the situation because right now it just seems like confusion. I'm trying to figure out how you were lured because it sounds like you were obviously a willing participant. We need all the details. So I'm gonna.
She was willing. Here we go.
And press play and then give you guys my thoughts and my feelings on this entire situation.
So I think I need to respond to this post, and thank you, Riley, for bringing up. I need a story time because I think it needs a story because I'm sick of explaining it. So I got pregnant when I was 19 years old. Okay, and my mom was like, "You're getting married." Actually, yeah, no, I had gave birth when I was 19, so I was like 18ish when I was pregnant. So my mom like forced it upon me. She was like,
We always get in here and say that, you know, because I was young. I was 19, you know. I was 19 too when I first got married too. And I had enough sense to know I ain't supposed to be giving pussy away. Let's continue. Here we go.
Going to be one of those mothers who are not married and you're on your own on welfare because she worked for the welfare department. So she was like, my daughter's not going to be one of them. I deal with that on the daily and you are going to get married.
Shout out to her mom, right? Clearly, that is the generation that still believed in shame, right? They still believed in shame, embarrassment. And she was like, well, since you were, grown enough to make this a lifelong decision with this man and have a child, you're going to have to be grown enough to step up to the plate and now, marry this man so that you can be made an honest woman. And, as much as people revolted against the older generation having that mentality, I wish we would bring it back. Okay? I think if we did, we'd see far less, baby announcements without marriages. I'm just keeping it real.
Now, we loved each other. Yes, we were madly in love. We were high school sweethearts, yeah. So we were just pregnant. We moved in. My mom's like, you're getting married. So we got married. I was 5 months pregnant when I walked down the aisle. Everyone, it was the talk of the town when a big family, oh my God, she's pregnant. Oh my God. That's why my mom's like, you're getting married. She's not going to be made fun of because her daughter had a baby out of wedlock. And I was just like, okay, whatever. I went with it. I went with it. I was 19. What else was I going to do? And I loved him, like, madly. We were crazy in love with each other. That's why it was a good marriage. We were best friends. So when we got married, he became a great...
Did y'all hear what she said? It was a good marriage. We were best friends. They always come out with that first. It was a good marriage. We were best friends. Okay? Now, y'all heard those key words. It was a good marriage. We were best friends. Let's continue. Shout out to River.
So it was a great job in Detroit, and for a long time, I mean, he was building all the buildings downtown, everything like that. We bought a house. We were the only people out of our friends who had a house. Everybody came to our house. It was the party house. We really had a good...
Mind y'all, just give you a little tidbit. The husband worked in construction, okay? The husband worked in construction, okay? So you know he made some nasty money, okay? The husband worked in construction, okay? So you know he made some nasty money. I'm feeling like Dr. Umar today. So y'all know there's a season where they don't work, okay? But let's continue. Here we go.
It was a great marriage. It was a great, happy family.
This is the second time that this woman has said that it was a great marriage. So the only thing that I can conclude so far, this is just my opinion, is that there has to be some form of regret in this situation. There has to be. Because she keeps talking about that was her best friend. They had so much fun. They were making so much more, progress than their peers because of the fact that they were married and they were this family unit. It was such a great marriage. It just sounds like I can feel that somehow the bottom is going to drop out of this conversation.
Then he started getting laid off all the time because the economy just wasn't what it was. Like, shortly after we got married, I mean, it was like every winter he would get laid off. Every winter, because you can't lay bricks, you can't lay concrete. It's got to be a certain temperature. You know what I mean? So we struggled. We lived paycheck to paycheck every day of our lives. There were always single men all around. All the time there were single men. Every time there was guys that lived across the street. They always flirted. There was always alcohol.
What did I say to y'all? What did I say in the beginning of the show? That when men don't have money, okay? When a husband goes out of work, okay? When he goes out of work and other men come around the wife, if she don't understand her purpose, okay? If she don't understand her purpose, baby, the pussy get moist around men who have money. The pussy get moist around men who have money. She will go and destroy her marriage because of the lack of money. Okay? Of the lack of money. I ain't say all women. But there's a pretty penny going on here. If you ain't never been through a hardship before, okay? You ain't never been through hardship before. And when you finally get to that season, because in every marriage, you have hardship, okay? In every marriage, you have hardship, especially the marriages that have been 19, 20 years. You have seen hardship. You know what it looks like. You know that it's a cycle. It's going to change. You just got to wait it out, okay? Take Heed has been through hardship as well. And all you got to do is wait till that season change, baby. It's coming right around. But you got to hold on. Hold on, continue to uplift, continue to pray. Because I'm gonna share something how she could have turned all this mess around with her husband. But we gonna let her cook because she thinks she cooking. We gonna let her cook. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for the donation, Eric, a $5 super chat. If anybody else want to donate to the channel, you can donate through Cash App, Venmo, and super chat as well. I greatly appreciate your donations by hitting the like button too. Because hitting that like button is a donation too, okay? Let's continue. Here we go.
Everybody was always drinking. Like I said, our house was the party house, so I never did anything, but there were times like, and I just don't even know. Like, I just don't, that's a whole other video.
It sounds like this woman might be a little bit of a troublemaker. Okay, if we couldn't get that from the initial video of her talking about being lured out of her marriage, I mean, we should be getting that from the context that she's giving. You know, there's always going to be single men around. Okay, whether you're married or not, there's always going to be single men, you know, within some kind of vicinity. If you go to the grocery store, if you go to the gas station, if you go to wherever, like, of course, there's always going to be single men. But I found it interesting that she's saying that as her husband was on, you know, hard times, that all of a sudden her eyes started to open to, you know, these single men in her surroundings.
We're gonna cut that out, and that'll be another video. I didn't know what it meant to take vows, you guys. I was 19, and I probably was ready to pass out from lack of oxygen because I was standing in a church full of everybody there for me, and 5 months pregnant, which I hated my pregnancy. I was miserable. I was not the girl who dreamt of getting married and walking down the aisle. No.
We gotta always put, you know, these excuses. No accountability. Y'all hear? I don't hear any accountability. No accountability. You got to always have that, you know, that Shay said it. Shay said it right there. That victim Olympics at its finest. Yes, baby. All right. Let's continue. Here we go.
Want to run the beach and be free and lay in the sun. That's it. No, I don't want to do anything like family. I don't know. I didn't want to do that. I mean, it wasn't my dream. I did it. And I played face for a long time.
This is one of the biggest problems that I see that a lot of women do, right? A lot of women play the game. And this is 100% the reason why a lot of men do not want to get married, right? And for the men that do want to get married, they have to watch their woman for a long time. They're very skeptical of women because of stories like this. Right, you played the game and you had the happy face on that you actually wanted to be married and that you actually wanted a family unit. You know, instead of telling your mother at that time you were grown enough to get pregnant, right? So you're obviously not a fool. You had all rights and all abilities to say, Mom, I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to get married. Whatever the case is going to be, you had the right and the ability to have been able to say that. You didn't do that. Right? You decided that you were going to go ahead and go along with it. Now you have another person, a part of this journey with you. And while the two of you are now embarking on this situation, you're now like, I don't know why I did this. I never wanted this. I never wanted to do this. And that's super unfair. Super unfair. So how are men supposed to know if you actually want to or if you're just doing all the things and checking off a list? Only to find out that that's never really what you wanted. You just, you know, wanted to have certain stripes. It's crazy.
And River is right. It is crazy. It is crazy because you're sitting up there and you're trying to make all the excuses of why, shoulda, woulda, coulda, and everything. And so this is only to have people to be on your side. A lot of y'all do this nonsense. Hey, love, how are you? A lot of y'all do this nonsense. Oh, let me just, you know, get out here and try to make my part look a little cleaner. Let me get out here and try to make my part look a little cleaner. Okay? A little cleaner. He wasn't working, you know, but we sitting in here forgetting that how you said y'all was the first one in your family to have your own house, okay? And that the money he was bringing home had you to be a stay-at-home mom. We forgot about all that though. But now that he don't have no money, now he's the problem. Okay? I'm just saying. Let's continue. Let's get to the next.
So he's always laid off. I have to, I'm not educated, so I got to go get educated, right? Like I always waitress at night. So my husband at the time would go to work bricklaying during the day. Well, that's how it was during the day in the beginning, and then I would go at night when he got home, would cook dinner and everything. As soon as he would come home, we would switch, and he would stay there with the baby at night, and I would go waitress, and then I'd come home.
That sounds like teamwork. Right? That sounds like everybody having the best interest for the family unit, right? Like, you know, he's doing his work, one person with the baby, you guys switch off. That sounds about right. That compromise and again.
That sounds normal. That sounds normal, right? That sounds normal, but it's not it. It's not it. Renee said ungrateful ass. Yes, but that's not it, okay? King Ball said very ungrateful. Yes, honey, but that's not it. Let's continue. Here we go.
Supporting one another. Yeah, that sounds like a marriage to me. Sounds like you had, you know, the vows down and you knew what you were doing at that point. That's what it sounds like.
That went on for a while. Then, like I said, he started getting laid off. So then somebody had to go to work. So time for Mama to step up to the plate. So I did. I was like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to get the fuck out of this house. But then I was going to school. I was working at a hospital, working at the hospital, clinical hours at the hospital, and bartending at the same time. And he was just staying home, which is fine. We were a team, but I started losing respect. He started, you know, we just really ate.
So you were going to school and you were bartending at night. And so what did he do? Stay at home with the child or children so that you further your dreams. He said, I'll stay at home with the children while you go to school and you work at night, okay? But somehow during that whole equation, you lost respect for your husband. And I had said this before because I have ran into a brother that said, I'm a stay-at-home dad. I had said this before. Men are loved. They are only loved under the conditions that they can take care of their family. Men are only loved on the condition that they can take care of their family. Unless he has been taking care of the family, okay? And then he done got sick. Then that's different, okay? But if, and mind you, they made this agreement. But somehow she finds that it's his fault that he's not working because she said she wanted to go to school. She said this to him. I want to go to school and I'm going to work since you can't work now because you are a bricklayer. You can't work now. Okay? This is what she said. They agreed upon this thing. But somehow she was like, hell to the no. Let's continue, y'all.
Drink my coffee. Benny. He's my new man now. That's what I don't have a man, okay? I live with no man. This is my man. They rule my world.
You see, when Kevin Samuel said...
She said the dog is her man, y'all. Oh, my God. She said the dog is her man, y'all. Okay? Let me share something with you. May the Godfather's soul rest in peace. Do you hear me? May his soul rest in peace because everything that man had said before he had went to glory has come to pass. The woman said live on her live stream. Okay? That's right, Renee. That's nasty, damn it. Yes. On her live stream. That's my man. The dog is her man. I feel bad for these dogs. It's going to be a lot of them. I feel bad for these dogs. Oh, my God. Let's continue. Here we go.
By a dog, or when people call them, you know, the cat women, they get so mad and angry and defensive. But this was the reality in which she was talking about. Okay? This was actually the reality of what a lot of these women are going to have to, you know, be okay with because of the decisions that they make. 100%. And, you know, it's crazy that this woman, you know, talks so openly. And I'm glad that she said it so that it can bring awareness. But it's just crazy that this is how it worked. Like, this woman was in a relationship with this man. This man honored her. He did the best that he could to help provide. He was there for his child. Not no, you know, father that wasn't there. He was obviously there. Had no problem being there for the child when she went to work. They would trade off. He was committed to her from all we know, from the conversation. And because of the fact that he fell on hard times based off of his job, she lost respect for this man.
Now, River, I love everything she said, but we already know he's a good man. The way she talking about him, we already know that this was a good husband. But some of y'all on any given Sunday will wake up and decimate the family. On any given Sunday will wake up and say, I don't want your ass no more. I want to be happy. Happy is the motherfucking word. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. I don't care if the kingdom fall down and the kids are crying. I want to be happy, damn it. Okay? I want to be happy. I don't give two shits how this kingdom fall. I want to be happy, damn it. Okay, let's continue.
Again, women who want to be married needs to get around married women and listen to the things that they are saying. Because you are going to go through ebbs and flows. And, it's not always going to be easy. Financially, and whatever the situation is, it's not always going to be easy, but you're going to have to be committed to the family structure and the family unit, regardless of. Sometimes the only thing that you can lean on within your relationship is that commitment. That's being steadfast for one another, supporting one another.
We just broke apart. It was getting bad, and I had resentment. And there was this guy at my new job who would not stop flirting with me, and he was tall, dark, and handsome, and he said all the right things, and it was the new job I was getting into, and he was like the best at that job, and I just watched him and learned from him every day, and I just was enamored by him, and he never left me alone every day. He just was a talker. My phone was blowing up.
How do you get your number?
Now, Rebel, right about that. How did he get your number? Love, I see what you put. Now I was in somebody's stream, and I had saw something like that. Was Usher putting cherries in her mouth and stuff, and she was sucking on the cherries like they were balls and stuff? Was that it? It was a black woman. She was heavily endowed at the top. Yeah, I think we talking about the same video. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now, this woman said he was tall, dark, and handsome. Okay. Now, she said this was a new field she was getting into. Okay. This was a new field. That's probably the one she was going to school. Okay. Now, this is a new field she was getting into. And so he was training her. Okay. So y'all exchange phone numbers. He was calling you for a purpose. He was calling you for a purpose. Anybody know the purpose he was calling her for? He was calling you for a purpose, baby. He was calling you for a purpose. Anybody know what the purpose was? Huh? Anybody know what was the purpose was? Don't worry, I'm gonna help you. The purpose was the pussy, okay? He was calling you like that because he wanted the pussy. Okay? Okay? Renee said getting in them panties. Yes, baby. That was the purpose. One thing about a man, and I want to shout out to the brothers who use this in a good way. Okay? I want to shout out to the brothers who use this in a good way. And then after they done got the but JJ, they wife you. Now shout out to the brothers. Now I ain't saying that it's good to be out here, doing the damn thing, but take heed, can't judge. Okay, take heed, can't judge. But I judge a little bit. I judge a lot. Okay, but I'm not here trying to tell you what to do. Okay, but the thing is that there are men who execute the pussy correctly, and there are men who execute and pass the pussy along. Okay? And so now she has met a man that will execute and pass the pussy along and say, I'm done, because I came for that. But there are some men who says, I'm here to execute the pussy every night and put that ring on it and give you their last name. Okay? Shout out to those brothers who execute the pussy and give those rings and last names, okay? But this man right here came for a purpose, and the purpose was to talk you out your drawers, and it worked, and it worked, and it worked. This is why I tell y'all, stop entertaining men that call your phone. If it ain't about business, You hear me? If it ain't about business, get off the phone. Get off the phone. If it ain't about business, okay, get off that phone. If it's business, all right, yada da da da. 5 minutes should be that's it. 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes, top six. It should not be an hour and a half. You on the phone with this man? You's a married woman. What are we doing? What are we doing? You got to understand that. And when you see it start happening, you got to cut that thing off. Wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. When you see it start happening, you got to cut that shit down. Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. He done called me for the last 3 days. He done called me. Wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? My king is quick to tell me some shit like that. Now, how many times this person done called you? And I say, well, I done talked to the person twice. My king says to me, oh, you, so you don't know? You don't know better? So I got to check myself. Yeah, I know better. It's about business, honey. No, don't take, no. And that's when you see take heed. I'm not going to be calling. I'm not going to be calling. I just sit up there and mind my business, okay? And mind my business. My sisters, you got to listen. An idle mind, okay, is the work husband's playground. An idle mind, because you run into the work husband. Every time you got a problem with the true husband, with the king, you're running to the work husband. You done got his phone call. Oh, we done had an argument. And see, the thing is, he's not there to get you to understand your husband. He's there to get you to understand he want those draws. So he's going to co-sign the shit that you said. Now, what he's hearing from you is that he knows it's wrong what you're doing, but he's going to get up there and say, oh, you know what? He's wrong. He's going to say the husband's wrong. He's wrong. You know, he shouldn't have said that to you. That wasn't right. If you were my wife, I would have never said nothing like that. Yeah. You hear what I'm saying? That's what, because any man who get in here and co-sign every shit that you do, this person is an enemy to your husband. He's an enemy. Let's continue. Here we go.
How did he get your number?
Yes.
Him being a talker on the job is one thing, but how did he get your phone number to actually call you and be on the phone with you? You gave it to him. That's a part of the story that you're not saying. You clearly gave him the number. And you know what's so interesting is that when men are, you know, the bosses on their jobs, and then their secretaries get with them, and you know, women are so upset or whatever the case is, it's like, because you know, she sees him as a point of authority, as a boss, whatever. Same thing that this woman is doing. It's the same thing. Okay, your man is at home while he's supporting. He's at home with the kids so that you can go further your education and so you can do your job. Right? That obviously was not his first choice. It sounds like he was a hardworking man. You guys were both young. He had a specific job that he did.
Construction is hard. Yes, he was a hardworking man. Construction is hard, baby. Let's continue.
Getting laid off. You decided, you know what, babe? Don't worry about it. I'm going to continue my job that I already had. I'm going to do school. We're going to get to this place, and we're going to figure it out. Then you lost respect for him after you agreed with doing this stuff. And now you start admiring the man on your job because he got one. Foolishness. It's foolishness. And it's messed up. Because if you lost your job and he started, you know, hooking up with the coworker or, you know, whoever it was at his job because of her ambition, you would be seeing the tune, and women will be on social media like, oh my gosh, men are twirl. This is why men are trash. It's crazy.
He never stopped. It was irresistible. It became irresistible. I was pushing him off of me. But then we went out, all of us, as a group, and we drank. And
No, we won't be doing that. I done pushed him off me. I was pushing him off me. How hard was you pushing? How hard, damn it, how hard was you pushing? I was pushing him off me, and then you decided to go out and get some drinks, y'all. Renee, did you hear that, Renee? She decided to go out. They decided to go out as a group and get some drinks. Okay? Yes, yes, honey. I was pushing him off me. There we go. Let's continue.
Involved. It's not good. That's why I don't drink anymore. Literally the beginning of the end. I think weeks later, my ex-husband found like his receipt in my vehicle and asked who he was. And I think that also he may have started to go into Verizon and start looking at the hundreds and hundreds of text messages that were going on.
So you didn't know that Verizon keeps those text messages. You didn't know. You didn't know Verizon, I'm saying it wrong. That they keep those text messages. You didn't know. You didn't know. But you was in there getting gully, okay, with the text message. Okay. Now all I heard was you was pushing them away. You was pushing them away. You was pushing them away. And then all of a sudden, as a group, y'all decided to get some drinks. Okay. And y'all always like to blame it on the liquor. You always like to blame it on the liquor. I've been drunk before. There's a lot of shit you couldn't get me to do. I've been drunk before. You can't get me to do some shit. Okay? And I know it's not right. Okay? And I know it's not right. You can't bring me there. Okay? Once I get drunk, the first person I'm looking for is my husband. You couldn't bring me there. Why is Take Heed talking like that? Because my husband captured my mind. So that's, that's why I talk about my husband the way that I do. Okay? But this is why I tell y'all you have to be mindful. Because men will get in here. Okay? That work husband will get in here and capture your mind. And because, you look at your husband like he ain't shit. That's why I always tell y'all, respect is first and foremost when it comes to your husband. And before he was your husband, he was your boyfriend. So you had to have respect for him. Okay? If you do not, you'll get out here and do some dumb shit. Like this lady right here. Let's continue.
Between me and the dude. He forgives me. What did he forgive me?
I've never been more excited to live
Now,
in New
why
Jersey.
she's saying he forgives me? The dog is kissing her in the mouth. I told you she said the dogs is her boyfriend. The dogs is kissing her in the mouth. Damn it. Oh my God.
Dude. He forgives me. What did he forgive me? So in that time, I literally, like I said, it was the beginning of the end, and I broke down, and it was a very quick downward spiral. Mm-hmm. I'm lucky that I made it out, never, losing my job or, also graduating and just getting through all of the stuff that I got through because I was in utter turmoil. The
Turmoil that you caused, okay? Right. So nobody doesn't feel sorry for you or have any compassion about that situation because...
But she has to say, I was going through a spiral breakdown. I was going through turmoil because... You got to get the women out here. You got to start pulling at their heartstrings. Oh, because of this happened. Okay? Because of this happened. You got to get these women on your side. I had went through a whole turmoil. I was in shock. You caused the pain, though. You caused it. By you giving away your husband pussy. You caused the pain. Let's continue. Here we go.
Who made all these decisions, so whatever turmoil you were experiencing at that time, it has everything to do with you.
That's right.
Entire time. I got divorced, and then I moved in with the dude. My son didn't want to live with him. I mean, it was just a whole horrible thing. My son just dropped out of school.
So she moved in with the dude. She tried to take her son with her and move in with the dude. Why would your son want to be with this man who destroyed his family? You and this man destroyed his family. Children, this one thing, this is why kids this is why kids act the way they do. To some of y'all, you got your new wife and this and that. This is why the kids act the way they do, because they look at you and say, if it wasn't for you, my family would still be the same if it wasn't for you. Okay, of course your son didn't want to be in the house with this man. Okay, so now you moved in the house with this man. Let's continue.
Everything went bad when I got divorced, and I should never have. And I was just delusional the whole time. I was completely delusional. I drank so much alcohol. I could not make decisions properly. My family would not interact with me anymore because I was making such wrong decisions. Nobody liked the guy that I was dating. So I had no support. You know, they were like just shocked that I left.
Why would they like him? Why would they like him, baby? Why would they like him? You saying your family didn't like the guy you were dating. Why was they supposed to like him? They supposed to like him? You said my family didn't like the man that I was dating. So your family supposed to like him? Renee said she was stigmatized. Okay, Renee said her son knew better than her. That's a damn shame. Okay, Renee said she lying. The truth ain't in her. Damn it. Okay, Love said OMG. Oh my God. Okay, no. Let's continue. Here we go.
My ex. It's good times, you know. Good times. Good. Bad.
I appreciate her being authentic about this situation. Obviously, she did the wrong thing. I think we all know that, and I think she knows that because she says that she should have never divorced her husband. She made a wrong decision, and this is an entire embodiment of the conversation I have constantly on this platform where I say that women go out there and they're like, I could do better than you. You know, they leave the man, they go get into a new relationship, they start flossing and acting like, you know, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And, you know, turns out they made the wrong decision. They live in regret. You know, more times when women divorce, I often see that those women actually live in regret, you know, way more than the women who pretend like they're so happy and everything is all kumbaya. Like majority of the time, women 100% regret their decision leaving their husbands. Because you know why? They never thought it through. They didn't. You see, the reason why women file for divorce more than men is because men are logical thinkers. They're thinking how it's going to affect the community. They're thinking of how it's going to affect their children, their household, their family structure as a whole. Like, they're thinking about that whole thing. Hence why it's harder for them to make decisions like this. Women, they just, all right, well, this is how I feel. I'm going with my feelings. I felt this for a little bit. It's over. And then after, when reality strikes, they're like, oh, wait, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe that was the wrong move. Maybe that was a mistake. Okay? The grass is green on the other side. Like I always say, they get on the steps, look over the fence, ain't no grass. This was an embodiment of ain't no grass.
No, it was the worst of times, and I don't know how I made it out. It was the grace of God that I made it all out alive. And now I'm like way on the other side.
And they always put God in it. By the grace of God, I made it out. By the grace of God, I made it out. All the time. All the time. They always want to put God in it, you know. God did it. God did it. God did what? God did what? God did it. God did what? Because the thing is, we put ourselves in those predicaments, and then we're looking to Yahweh to bring us out. We done put ourselves. If you didn't go over to Tyrone's house, because that's what y'all love to use, Tyrone. If you didn't go over to Tyrone's house, if you didn't entertain Tyrone on the phone, if you didn't get in here and go to lunch with Tyrone when it was lunchtime, you wouldn't have this problem. Am I right? Am I right? Okay. Renee said, God saved the man from her foolishness. All right now. All right now. Because this is what you say. And a lot of y'all, this is the thing that irked my nerve. I'm lonely. You know, a lot of y'all wives say this. I'm lonely. I'm lonely. You ain't never home. So somehow lonely is how can I say this? Is equal to giving pussy away. Lonely is equal to giving pussy away. Let's get in here because I'm lonely. Let me give pussy away. Did I tell y'all not to get a hobby? Get a hobby, damn it. Get a hobby. Learn how to walk outside, damn it. Okay? Learn how to go to the park. Go to the center in your neighborhood. Learn how to keep busy. Okay? Learn how to get in the garden, damn it. Okay? Have a new project. Okay? Get something to do. Okay? But somehow, loneliness, I'm lonely. I'm lonely, damn it. I'm lonely. is equaling to let me get his pussy away. That's loneliness. Okay, here we go.
And it's crazy because the boyfriend, the guy that I left my husband for, he still literally tries. I literally still had to just block him because he still tries to come into my life. And he lives with a girl. So this is how I know that he's just, that's why I can make this fucking video, okay, and say, one thing about me is that I know that I'm never like you. Okay, that's what the was. Why is everyone flipping out over the video? Like, I went into the comments and they hide these comments, and I approved all of these because I want them to be seen. I want all these comments to be seen. I take accountability. If you look in my follow me or anything, I have a series called Hard Life Lessons Learned, and that's one of them. The grass is not greener on the other side. Like, I've lived and learned. I have learned, okay, people? I'm not a narcissist. I live alone, and mostly because I decide to, and I am an isolator. I don't like to be around others, but I don't.
She decided to. Y'all always get in here and get in there and say that foolishness. I decided to live alone. I decided to live alone. Your choices made the decision for you, baby. Your choices made the decision for you. Because in the beginning, you said y'all house was the go-to house. Y'all house was the party house. You were the first one in your family to have a house. Okay? First one in the family to have a house. Let's continue.
I don't know. I am alone. So that's what I get, and it is lonely and sad. But what hurt the most out of all of that was my son. And that's why I would have stayed, okay? Because mothers should, you should give of yourself for your children. And I was only thinking of myself. I was very selfish and drunk and stupid. But now I'm on the other side. I'm getting emotional, but there you go, Riley. That's the story.
I'm happy that she said this because I think that other women need to have this awareness of their possible realities based off of their decision making. Like, yeah, you might be going through a rough patch in your marriage, but maybe you need to sit down and really think of how blessed you are that you have a man who's standing 10 toes down with you, willing to protect you, willing to support you, being there for you. That is his children. Or his child, so he is going to think about them in the best benefit. Like, a lot of women need to put certain things into perspective, because she's like, in hindsight, she should have never left. She wouldn't have left. She would have been happier. She wouldn't have been alone. And she's like, she's alone right now, and she's like, it's sad and it sucks, but this is a result of the decisions that she's made, and the only thing that she can do is sit in them. And when she did talk about the backlash that she received from the video, I believe 100% the backlash from that video is based off of the fact that she said that she was lured out of her marriage when obviously, like, you're not the victim, right? You were never the victim in the situation. You weren't the victim when you got pregnant. You were happy in love. You didn't use whatever ramifications to protect yourself from pregnancy. You got married. You had the right to say that that's not something that you wanted to do or you were not ready for. If that was the case, regardless of what your mom said, she could have stopped you from.
And I love the fact how she says, I was lured out of my marriage. I was lured. We said that in the beginning. I was lured out of my marriage. You lured me out of my marriage. Okay? He enticed you with a good time. Okay? He enticed you with a good time. I was lured out of my marriage. Oh my God. Or did you bring yourself? Because this is the problem. I told y'all, anytime when a woman cheats, okay? When she cheats, it already plays out in her mind. Okay? When she sees this man and this man is talking some good to her, she already in her mind, she's playing in her mind how big the dick is. Did I say that correctly? She's playing in her mind how big the dick is, okay? I said it. I didn't stutter. She's playing in her mind how big the dick is. Okay, and she's playing in her mind how he's going to swing her from the chandelier and give her back shots. Yes. She has already played that in her mind. So that's why it's easy for her to spread those legs and give that pussy freely, because it already played in her mind. It gotta play in your mind first. This is why when men get on the phone, they talk to you all with that sexual type talk. They tell you how they had you turned up somewhere, and or we ever was by ourselves, I'll take you in the back and give you back shots and hit you from the side. You know what I'm saying? All this nonsense. And so now you already, you ready if the chance ever come. So all you needed was some liquor, honey. All you needed was some spirits. That's it. Y'all always like to blame it on the spirit. It's already an inner, you already have it in your mind. Okay? That's why a lot of y'all can get to do shit because it's already in your mind. The liquor just bring it out. Okay? The spirit just brings it out. Okay? Y'all remember that story I told y'all when we went to a tribal meeting. Me and my husband went to a tribal meeting, and we was somewhere in Piscataway. Okay, and it was beautiful. We had a good time and everything. And I wore this dress that fitted, had some riding boots. I was comfortable, honey. And they were giving out drinks. Okay, that's right. Renee said liquid courage. That's right. So we was having some drinks. Okay. And my king was telling everybody, oh, she don't drink, because he know it go left. So he said, no, she don't drink, she doesn't drink. So one of the sisters gave me something. It was some Bacardi and rum. So my king was looking at me, and I looked at him, and he was like shaking his head like, mm-mm. And I was like, just a sip. I go and drink and sip a little bit, okay? Mind you, I had a nice dress on, some heels. I was comfortable, okay? I was comfortable. I don't know how, but somehow after I done drunk that thing, that Bacardi and Bacardi, okay? After I had drunk that, and I know I'm saying it wrong, rum and coke, okay? Now I got it right. After I done drunk that rum and coke, because you could tell I'm not a drinker. After I had drunk that bad boy, I don't know how I got on top of this man at the bar. Okay, and that was my husband. He had a whole conversation with some other brothers, and that was my mind. Okay, that was my mind to mount this man. Okay, and he told them, y'all know what? Y'all have a good evening. I gotta take her home. And the other brothers was up there like smiling at him and stuff. And he told me, he get me to the car, dragging me like I'm a little kid. He said, you so shameful. Just sit down. You know what I'm saying? You're so shameful. And I was trying to mount him in the car. So this is why you know what I'm saying? Your secret desires come to pass. If this is who you desire, that's who you going after. You was around this man drinking. And so that was your desire to mount this man. And so what did you do? You gave the pussy freely. Okay? Just like Take Heed did with her husband. Gave it freely. Okay? You had the desire. Okay? This is why I tell y'all, be careful, be mindful of who you entertain. Let's get in here. River almost finished. She about to finish it out.
She couldn't have forced you into marriage. You had all these people around you, or temptation, whatever the case is. You decided to give that man your number. You decided to hang out with that man. You decided to entertain that man,
all right,
knowing that you were married. Like all of these things that happened were because of you. And I think that, again, you using the word Lord made it seem like you were a victim in the situation when clearly you were not. Again, I think this is a reality that a lot of women need to take into consideration when they think that the grass is greener on the other side. Ain't no grass. Okay? There might be grass for some, but you have to understand that is a gamble that you have to be willing to take, that maybe you're going to be in the house with dogs by yourself.
That's nasty. That's nasty. And River is correct, honey. Okay? River is correct. Now, I saw this earlier because, and we got to hit YouTube, Instagram real quick. I saw this a couple months ago. Okay? And a young man, the woman wrote a book about her cheating on her husband. Okay? She wrote a book about cheating on her husband and how God worked it out, and they were able to, the husband was able to forgive her. But a lot of people gave her some backlash about the book. I was one of them too. I gave her some backlash too. Because I was saying, why would you get out here and write a book about hurting your husband? Now, somebody was like, oh, take heed, it's a money grab, they together. But when we get in here and we encourage shit like this is the stuff I don't like, okay? But this is what happened. I want y'all to hear how the husband explains how he forgave her, okay? Check this out.
Well, we all know that men cheat. We've heard it dozens of times. But we normally don't ever get a chance to hear a man forgiving his wife for infidelity. So, Keith. Yes. I'm going to jump right in. What made you forgive her?
The main thing that made me forgive was really just like I always saw my parents go through different things growing up, but I also had the opportunity to see them work through it. And so seeing that, okay, yeah, it may not be the same as somebody just having an everyday argument or anything like that, but recognizing that this is the person that I said my vows to, that we made this covenant not only between ourselves, but with God. This is somebody that I already said I would be willing to work through things for better or for worse.
Yes.
And this is just one of those things that falls into the worst category, but we made these vows. I want to try and work this out. And so I had to make that decision with God. And then also too, like,
you know, we all know that men.
I'm going to share something with y'all. This young man, do you believe he had a father with a king mindset? Do you believe? Do you believe this young man had a father with a king mindset? Because I want to share something with y'all. Once a woman cheats, and how many times have we said this before? Once a woman cheats, okay? This woman let another man capture her mind. Do you hear what I'm saying? She has let another man capture her mind. That's so any given Sunday, if this man calls her, she'll go. She will go. She will go. Because this man had captured her mind. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. When a woman cheats, this man had already captured her mind. If you can't capture a woman's mind, she's not going to cheat. She's not. I don't care what the hell her and that husband is going through. She won't cheat. Because you could not capture her mind. Her husband still has her mind. So when a woman gets out and she crosses that bridge and she starts swinging from the chandelier for another man, you have to leave her there. But this young man, he's a young man. He doesn't understand. He's a young man. He doesn't understand. Okay? He's too young. He doesn't understand. Okay? But I want you to hear this, what a man said. Can a man cheat and still love their lady? I want y'all to hear this, okay? And I know y'all like, take heed, you picking sides, and you taking sides, this and that. But when the truth is the truth now, damn it. When the truth is the truth, let's get in here. Here we go. This is what this man said. Here we go.
To step outside of his relationship, go ahead and get that steak on somebody else's plate, right? And still have absolute love and respect for his woman at home.
Yeah.
With him still being able to have sex with another woman. Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible. It's 100% possible. If you told her what you was gonna do.
Period.
Wow.
The mic.
If you told her what you was gonna do, man, and she was cool with it, she was on board, she had buy-in. Hey, bro, knock yourself out. I envy you. I couldn't. I couldn't part my lips to say that ridiculousness not to my black wife.
And I love what he said, because this is the thing. I love how he broke this down, because men can go out, and this is the difference between men and women, and this is every color. Men can go out, and because their eyes got them seeing something, okay, He can put in his mind that I just want to swing her from the chandelier and there'll be nothing more. Once he get that nut clarity and he gets up from the bed, the first person he remembers is what? His family. He no longer remembers this woman that he laid on this bed and rocked her world for at least 20 minutes. He no longer remembers this woman anymore because he done got that. He done got it. He done conquered it. Okay? He done conquered it. That's the difference. But when the woman has been laid down, you done gave this pussy away. You have been laid down. You get home, you still thinking about this man. You ain't paying your husband no mind. You still thinking about this man. But a lot of y'all be like, nah, there's some women that get out here and they rough riders like men. No, they not. No, they not. No, they not. And the ones who get in here and say, oh no, I just get out there and do it and pass it and just let it go. You can't. You can't. Either you feel bad about what you have done. You feel like you dirty about what you had done, okay? Or you feel guilty. Or you done got infatuated with this man and you trying to turn it into love and he letting you know. Because there's some brothers that'll let you know from the door, I got a wife, I got a family, I just want to sleep with you, that's it. Okay? We just got a situationship. And some of y'all sign up for the situationship. Some of y'all will get in here and sign up for the situationship because you want to know why? You believe he gonna leave his wife. This is a prime example of y'all sisters. You get in here and you believe, oh no, he gonna leave his wife one day. Shout out to Tarika, the amazing content creator. She always dropping those gems. And this is a delusional woman that's in the video that Tarika is talking about, that she thought her work husband was going to leave his wife for her, okay? Because she turned around and left her husband, okay? Oh, I left my husband. You got to leave your wife. And this is the nonsense that y'all don't understand. This is the nonsense you don't understand. Once a man has captured her mind, you gotta let her go. You gotta let her go respectfully. You know what I'm saying, baby? I love you enough to let you go. I love you enough to let you go because I got to love myself. I love you enough to let you go. So when I see men that take women back from stuff like this, my heart breaks for them because the first chance she get that call, especially if he fucked her good, especially if he laid that pipe down, honey. Okay? And you don't know about it? Especially if he laid that pipe down and he controlled her in that bedroom. Baby, you in trouble. You in trouble. Every time he calls, she gonna come running. Every time he call, she gonna come running. Okay? And when you get this, when she get out there and she cheat, you gotta let her go. You gotta let her go. Don't get in there and talk about I could work it out. I love you. I love you enough. I got to let you go. Okay? I love you enough. I got to let you go. We cheat differently. Okay? Now, my sisters, I'm not telling you to go ahead and put up with foolery either. You understand? I'm not telling you to take nonsense. Okay? But I will tell you this. Find out why the cheating occurred. And then you know how to move. Okay? After that. Find out why the cheating occurred. And then you know how to move after that. Let's continue. Here we go. Okay? She cheated and ruined her life. Shout out to Tarika. Here we go.
About the woman who cheated on her husband and it ruined her entire life. Back in the 1990s, a woman named Pam was happily married to a man named Jeff, and they had 4 kids. Jeff was crazy about his Pam now, and everybody knew he'd do anything for her, and she felt the same way until a new man showed up at work. As soon as she saw Brian, she didn't know what to do. She looked at him and she felt like this man is her destiny. After getting to know him a little bit at work and at happy hour, she realized that Brian felt the same. Now, Brian was married too, but they didn't care. So they began an affair. They would tell their families they're staying late for work or they have to handle certain business, and they would go to be together, meeting up at motels and random parks and places so that they can make love. They really fell in love with each other. And it was more than just infatuation. Pam asked Brian if he would leave his wife for her, and Brian said yes, he would. So when Pam turned up pregnant, she went and told her husband, Jeff, hey, I'm leaving you. I'm pregnant from another man. Jeff couldn't believe it. He had to move out of the house and watch his wife carry another man's baby. He started drinking every day, and he was so depressed that his family didn't think he was going to make it. But Pam didn't care because she had truly met the love of her life, and she was waiting for Brian to tell her that he left his wife. Pam's ex-husband, Jeff, reaches out to her and asks her, can he have another chance? He said he's willing to forgive as long as she doesn't go back to Brian. But Pam says no. She believes in Brian. He's the man she wants to be with. Pam got pregnant again. And Brian kept saying, just give me some more time. Give me some more time. I got to get some things in order. And with 2 kids from Brian, Pam started to get upset. And she decided to make a move. She gave him an ultimatum. She told Brian, if you don't leave your wife for me, you can't see your kids no more. How about that? That ultimatum devastated Brian because he loved his kids and his wife already knew about him and everything. Brian tried to plead with her, telling her, look, my wife needs me. I can't leave her right now. But Pam said, forget about it. And she shut him out from seeing his kids. The next thing you know, Brian shows up at work and stands in front of Pam's desk. As Pam stands up, wondering what Brian's going to say, he pulls out a gun and shoots himself in the heart. Falls to the ground, and she watches him bleed out right in front of her. Pam begins to scream bloody murder because the man she loved the most in the world is gone, and it was her fault. Over the next few years, Pam's kids have to learn how to fend for themselves because Pam had picked up a pipe and become a full-time addict. And to this day, more than 30 years later, Pam has never recovered. She's still on that pipe. And she still has nightmares about seeing the love of her life bleed out right in front of her. Pam lost her husband, she lost her family, she lost her job, she lost everything. Pam's entire life was destroyed. All because of a man she felt was the love of her life. And she just had to have him. What do you think of this true story?
He was the love of her life, but she was married to somebody. How do you put that this man was the love of your life, but you was married to somebody, baby? How does that happen? Okay? How does that happen? The man that you said that was the love of your life belonged to another sister. Okay? Belonged to another sister. You were willing to go and steal somebody's husband. Okay, and I'm gonna share something with you. What did he do? He went and told the wife he got 2 children with you. He went and confessed to his wife. That doesn't sound like he was trying to leave her. That doesn't sound like he was trying to leave her. It sounds like he was trying to get forgiveness. Am I right? That's what it sounds like. He was begging the wife not to leave. That's what it sounds like. He had to tell this woman, his wife, that listen, I got 2 children. I got 2 kids. Please don't leave me. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. And I'm going to share something with you. Women forgive. Women forgive men that they are totally in love with. Honey, they will forgive. And I'm not sitting up here saying that it's right, damn it. I'm not, because he done made 2 babies with this woman. I would never sit up here and tell a woman, oh, that's right. That's right. No, I can't do that to you, my sisters. I can't. I can't get up here and tell you, yeah, that's right. No, I'm not going to tell you that. Take heed, not going to tell you that. But what I'm going to say is that I'll be damned. And you thought he was going to leave, okay? You thought he was going to leave his wife like you jumped up and left your husband. Because you was infatuated with this man. This man came to the office. He worked in the same office as you. Came to your office. Came to your desk. Pulled out a piece be still. Took and took his own self out in front of you because you stopped him from seeing his children. You stopped him from seeing his children. So more than likely, he didn't have no kids with that wife. And he said, let me just go ahead and get out of here. Now, do I get up here and say that makes sense? Oh, hell no, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense, because this is why you have the court system. That shit don't make no sense. I sure woulda. That doesn't make any sense. I wouldn't have took my life. Now the kids are going through foolery because mama's smoking that crack pipe. Mama out there smoking that crack pipe, baby. Okay? Oh my God. The biggest enemy, can I get an amen? The biggest enemy to your husband is the work husband. Do you hear what I'm saying? The biggest enemy to your husband is the work husband. Got to stay away from those work husbands. Okay? Got to stay away from those work husbands. Stop telling all your business, damn it. Stop telling all your business. Everybody ain't got to know the shit that you and your husband going through. Long as he ain't laying hands on you, damn it. Don't you go and tell your private business. Everybody ain't got to know what's going on in your house. That's the problem right there. A lot of people believe the devil is a fool. He's not. He knows how to put stuff in your face, and it's up to you to take the bait. Now I got to go. Now I was going to show another video, but I got to go. I got to finish cooking. It's already 1 o'clock. Got to make sure this food is ready for my husband. I got to go. Okay. Now I enjoyed my time with y'all. I got to go. Okay. Thank you, Eric, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you, baby. I appreciate you. Renee said, Grandma said, keep your mouth closed. That's what it is now. When it comes to your husband, keep your mouth closed. As long as he ain't laying hands on you, baby. Okay? As long as he ain't doing nothing to the children, trying to hurt anybody. Do you hear what I'm saying? You keep your mouth closed. Anything you going through, you keep your mouth closed, damn it. Learn how to stop talking about your husband to your family and friends and stuff. Because let me share something with you. When y'all get back together, the family and friends going to be looking at them two-sided. I said what I said. Okay? Have a wonderful day, everybody. Much love to you all. Thank you to everybody who donated to the channel. And I will take the likes as a donation too. Thank you so much, y'all. Okay? Much love to you all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Trouble will be here tomorrow. I will be on camera tomorrow. Okay? All right? If you want to donate to the channel through Cash App and Venmo, the links are in the bio. If you want to shop with us, our family business is called ubmraxfashion.com. Okay? ubmraxfashion.com. Mercari, POSHMARK, and eBay is in the bio. Okay? As well, if you want to shop there too. Also, if you want to buy merch, scroll to the top of my YouTube page. You will see shop or store. Go in there. They got hoodies, shirts, mugs, water bottles, baby clothes, all that good stuff. Okay? Me in a cartoon form. Okay? Much love to y'all all. Everybody have a wonderful day. Take heed to the message, everybody.
Check it out. Break the weed down, roll up. Then you gotta pass the blunt all around. And you know where I'ma be found, yelling woo woo with the motherfucking clowns. Getting paid is my forte, each and every day in a Chevrolet, drinking on a pink lemonade. It's the Sprite with the Minute Maid, yeah. East side to the west side, got a big girl with some big thighs. I'm not spending my cash, she giving me the ass. Every night I'ma have a blast. By no means average, I got a couple really bad habits.